No. This bullshit. Good day, friends. I came home, I passed out, and I woke up and I started doing this. It is 8:01 in the morning. Bear with me as I amass and edit the mountain range of footage we've collected over the past 4 weeks. As you may know, I just got back from California, having only just got back from Australia. Every year the Honey Badger World Tour gets a little bit bigger. And you may have heard, you just might have heard of some of the crazy shizzle that went on at VidCon. We colluded with each other, and as a group, we conspired to sit in the audience at various panels and occasionally applaud. In other words, to attend the convention, to get our money's worth of what we explicitly paid for, to do what everyone else at the convention was doing. And the response this elicited from the powers that be was, "You're a shithead and a garbage human. Help, I'm being repressed." It's got a lot of people rather excited. It's got a lot of people saying, "Hey, this was a great idea." Meeting in real life and inadvertently showing up these convention organisers as the hypocrites they are. Why has no one thought of this before? We should have a convention of our own. Yes, well done. Pioneers, all of you. By the way, the trial of Calyx and the Mary Sue comes up in November. And next year I'll be very much looking forward to the 4th annual International Conference on Women's Issues. Hey, what should we do now that there's a bunch of women in the movement? Tap, whistle. People are already talking about, hey, when are we going to do this again? When are we going to get together again? IRL. And in the case of the Badgers, it's November this year, in the Civil Court of Calgary, where we'll be suing the Mary Sue and Calyx for acting far more egregiously than anyone at VidCon did. It's taken 2 years, but even just by getting this to trial, we'll be setting a legal precedent that you can't just eject and harass people and then lie about them in the press and get away with it. Just in case anyone's interested yet. So before I embark on another year and another massive batch of meetup footage, I thought I'd check in with a quick recap. I've been trying to think of what to say over the last 4 days, while everyone else says it. So I'll try and fill in the blanks with which I'm left over. I discovered some things in the past few weeks. Affirmed some things. One being that shitloads fall into 2 rather broad categories, albeit separated by a rather wavy grey line. There are the talkers, the shitloads who take naturally to nattering, who can strike up a conversation with just about anyone and continue that conversation for hours unabated. I marvel at such people. People like Sargon and Mundane Matt and Wizard of Cause and Jeff Holiday and lots of others. And then there are the people who, despite being quite energetic in their videos and rather outspoken in their tweets, are in real life are somewhat socially awkward, tending to stick to rather short, quiet sentences, and rarely going off on one. Like me, and like Vernaculus, and surprisingly Chris Raygon, and even Shoe on Head to an extent. The dead giveaway, incidentally, is how often you see live streams on their channels, compared with how often you see heavily edited videos. And the fans of said shitloads, the enthusiasts, perhaps I should say, fall into the same broad categories, but with a ratio of about 80% socially awkward to 20% socially lubricative or whatever. I've met so many people over the last few weeks with those familiar mannerisms. They turn up on their own, they politely shuffle into the corners and proceed to have trouble making eye contact. And I'm like, wow, these people are like me. It's so validating. It's like when you're at a party on mushrooms, you can tell who else is on mushrooms. Like, you there, you understand my ordeal, let's talk. Or let's stare awkwardly into space trying to think of something to talk about. So, speaking as someone well and truly in the socially awkward category, I can only speak for myself at this point. But if at this point, if I didn't have my colleagues and my enthusiasts, I wouldn't have any friends at all. Except for the ones who are too far away or too long ago to speak of. And I have to wonder how many people reach this moment at some point in their life where you've moved house and changed occupation so many times that you're left only with the immediate choice of either work friends or no friends at all. A good result to having pets instead of friends. Shoot me if I ever get that bad. And yeah, it never ceases to amaze me that the professional narcissists who get invited and paid to speak publicly at these events will relentlessly bully and harass these socially awkward and mildly autistic people who came to quietly listen to what they have to say. And they will narcissistically screech at us, claiming we harass them. And then the social lubricators in the ranks of the shitlords refer to Anita Sarkeesian's behaviour as autistic screeching. Facepalm, head disc, drill out my eyeballs, sigh. People, when are we going to introduce into our dialect the concept of narcissistic screeching? How about now? Have we not just seen a textbook example of it, par excellence? Referring to Sarkeesian's antics as autistic is like referring to it as radical men's rights extremism. Yeah, then again, that wouldn't surprise me either. Such is the nature of Cluster B. You blame everything on the opposite of what's really to blame, and you do it for as long as you can get away with it. The community tracks of the official VidCon, it was back-to-back panels of women going, I'm so beautiful, I'm so victimized, all anyone ever talks about is what I look like, wah! By the way, don't ask me any questions about what I think, that's harassment! It couldn't be clearer at this point, the difference between autism and Cluster B. Look what happens when you weaponize them. Weaponized autism takes the form of faceless Chan fags, reverse engineering cloud formations. Weaponized narcissism takes the form of Anita Sarkeesian. Yeah, and VidCon. Yeah, this isn't even his final form. Alright, so a quick confession. My motives for going to VidCon, and indeed for going to Australia, were selfish. I didn't go for the sake of the people who wanted to see me. I went because I wanted to see people. Maybe a bit of both, but I shan't deny the selfish elements of my motives. I wanted to get out of the house and go somewhere a bit different and work on my social life and indeed my business acumen. Because I don't want this anti-social justice, anti-identity politics, anti-gender authoritarianism community to be just a community that begins and ends somewhere. I want it to grow and grow until the manosphere and the femisphere no longer need to exist. I want it to be something present in people's thoughts all over the world, as ubiquitously as possible. See, currently, I can say the words women's rights anywhere in the world, and I don't sound like a nutter. Well, I want to be able to walk into any town and say the words men's rights out loud in public and not have everyone around me assume I'm part of a fringe community, let alone a hate group. I did this because, one, I want to build my business and put food on my table, and two, I wanted to hang around with my friends and make new friends. The weird thing about my situation is that 1 and 2 are one and the same. Because, as I said, the only friends I have left are the ones I made through my business. My business. The meme known as Mer has taken on enough guises to seem like it could attach to anything at this point. My feels, my community, my free speech, my holy book, and now, of course, my friends. Which is sort of fair enough, since any given word or concept is susceptible to being misused and abused as a reductive argument. But here's the thing. Here's the breakdown. I've been networking with my friends. And as far as Laurie would put it, my colleagues. Yeah, this has been a meme since the 80s at the latest. Do keep up. Networking with friends. That little tryst of words is controversial by itself because the concept of networking is already ambiguous. It's something business people do, something friends do, and it's something computers do. And in each case, the definition is different, but I'll summarize some of my little life chapters, and you can stop me where they diverge from yours. When I went to school, I networked with other children, and as a result of this, I developed friendships. When I went to college, I networked with other students, and through this I developed friendships. And when I went to social media, I networked with other content creators, eventually, and through this I developed friendships. Are you any different, dear viewer/listener? Would it be wrong to say the vast majority of your friends are friends you've made within institutions, within the walls of shared interests? And this does not invalidate the friendships. If it did, it would invalidate most friendships. Obviously, if you're a doctor or a solicitor or something serious or whatever, you shouldn't be treating your business associates as though they're your friends. Because certain professionals, and no one should treat their friends like their business associates, unless they start a business with them. But social media is a strange new beast. It has properties unlike anything before it. I have over 300 patrons, nearly 50,000 subscribers, but I don't have any clients. And I don't have any employees. And I don't have any bosses. The internet itself fills in all of those positions. What's happening here is that people are now able to make money from having friendships. And I can understand why that pisses certain people off, because it sounds pretty sinister. But it's not, because it's 100% voluntary. There is an enormous, possibly endless amount of generosity in the human spirit. And when you create voluntary capitalism properly, you begin to see it manifested. Is it any wonder that the powers that be are at this moment scrambling to shut down the revenues of this voluntary capitalism? Like Patreon, yeah. That's what scares them. The fact that money is going towards friendship voluntarily instead of going towards identity politics by legal mandate. What did we do that pissed off Mr. Sarkeesian? What did we do that pissed off the organisers of VidCon and the mainstream media outlets rallying around with their lies? We did what we conspired to do. And we did conspire to do it. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. We conspired to sit down in a group. That's all. That's all it took. And, some of us did indeed suspect that would be all it takes. If we simply sit down and obey the rules and only speak when spoken to, there's a good chance they'll freak out, call us harassers, and try to ruin our lives. Some of us have been through it before. Hi! But this time, a group of about 30 people were able to form a crowd in real life. A network of people brought together by a shared sense of individualism and free speech. They've never seen that many of us together in one place. And it scares the shit out of them. Just 30 people. And yes, we did suspect that the panel would find that intimidating. There's nothing wrong with admitting that either. Because if you are intimidated merely by the visual confirmation that 30 people disagree with you, quietly in their own thoughts, then you are the one with the problem. You can amass hundreds of thousands of people who ostensibly agree with you, but you can't handle the sight of 30 who don't without exploding into a hurricane of lies, then someone around here has a severe problem with hegemony and systemic institutional privilege. And yes, we did go to build our businesses. And yes, we are conflating that with making friends. Because that very conflation is not only valid given the tools we're using, but it's the thing we've been missing this whole time. It's the thing the human race has been missing for up to 100,000 years. Yes, this was significant. The events themselves are not significant, and the details of these events will probably be lost to history. But what they symbolize is something that's going to snowball over the next few centuries into something unfathomable. Because the history being changed here is beyond anyone's scope. And it won't be a smooth ride from here. Not at all. The biggest bumps are still ahead of us. Hey, how about we hold the next shitlord meetup in Saudi Arabia? I mean, we're men! They'll welcome us with open arms! I mean, our little group has like 4 men to every 1 woman. The Wahhabis fucking love that ratio! Right, I'm off to Twitter to argue about this. Cha-ching! This is a song that I promised one of my patrons I would sing. But I've changed the names to protect the innocent. In contemporary free-spoken conventions, there is a word that we still hold taboo. A word with a bleak reputation for being used to create, load, save, and undo. Just 2 actually harmless letters arranged, representing a consumer revolt with more power than the pieces of plastic that can simulate assault. A couple of G's, 1 purple, 1 green, assembled on screen. Just 2 little letters you print on a poster that cause triggers every time they are seen. And it's important that we all eject all these people who somehow expect to proclaim their political views, having paid several grand and broken no rules. So never just investigate the claims that people pursue. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but that gets you sued. A couple of G's, unless you've gone in public. 2 A's and 2 E's, even if you've thought about it. An R and an M and a T, you hear me, Calgary? We're gonna put up with this insanity. Yes. Only a gamer can call another game a gamer. Only a gamer can call another game a gamer. So if you kick us out and without any self-doubt, then thousands of people will shout, "What's that about?" 'Cause only a gamer can call another game a gamer. When you're a gamer, life is pretty weird. We've been geeking out since the first year. Girls calling you loser and neckbeard. And when you retaliate, they burst into tears. So you head home and stay inside your bedroom. You try to get the high score in that speed run. But until your freedom of speech is truly leveled up, then you're an ass and we're assholes. Don't you know that only a gamer can call another game a gamer? Only a gamer can call another game a gamer. So if you're gonna frame us and tarnish our names, you better have a touch of the game in your brain. Only a gamer can call another game a gamer. Now some listen to me, we're not looking for femme gals. Just for you to notice me, senpai. Just 'cause we're ridiculously low res doesn't mean we're putting on a protest. Yeah, I like to call the police on a small crowd after we've robbed them and thrown them out and spread some lies about them all over town and claiming that we arrest them. And I say I don't think that's appropriate, 'cause only a gamer can call another gamer game. And all the lawyers, they agree it's a case. Once you play games, you better play based. Only a gamer can call another gamer. Woo. Hi folks, I'm back in London. Look, I'm going to talk about this seriously at some point, but you know me. One or two little things little panda's got to get off his chest. Yeah, you can call us trolls or misogynists. You can even call us goobers or cyber demons. But when we say, well, fuck you, you cry rape! Rape, rape! Rape, rape! Rape, 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 rape! But threatening to burn down our booth is just great! Yeah, you can sell your Nazi party boutiques and follow Madonna with the big boobies. But if you suggest feminism treats women like victims, they'll say, no, it doesn't. Get out! You're victimizing women! Only a gamer can call another gamer. Only a gamer can call another gamer. So if you call us gamer, we might call you lame, and then we'll stand up for your right to do the same. 'Cause only a gamer can call another gamer. So unless you people get out your pom-poms and stand up for your human right to badger on, then this is gonna happen at every con. And by con, I mean con! Only a gamer can call another gamer. Just like only a flamer can cast flame on another flamer. Only a gamer, only a gamer, only a gamer. All you care about is flamer and finding people to blame her and calling them names. I have you people no shame. Oh, only a gamer can call another gamer.